Hey, lady, come on a little early.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you hit record. All right, hi everybody. This is Annabelle Ola, and I am here tonight to talk to you about nutrition and immune support for children. We are about to enter a new school year, whether that's at home or at school. Regardless, the fall is coming, the winter is coming, so we thought it was really important for you to hear a nutrition and immune support for children in particular, and then we'll talk about an adult class that's coming up around the corner. I am a nutrition coach, a wellness advocate, a Pilates instructor, and I own Align Wellness. So really wanting to come at you at all angles, not just supplements, but all the things that are super important for wellness. So thank you for joining, and we will get started. How to improve immunity in children. So first, we're going to be talking about washing our hands, personal hygiene.
Annabelle, we can't see the next screen.
You can't? Marli, do you know what to do on that? Sorry, guys. Working out the technical difficulties.
Go back and forward again.
So I just hit the actual picture.
Are you on present mode? Or share, whatever.
I thought I was. It says slide 2 at the top. What do you guys see right now?
We only see slide 1.
Maybe I should go back.
I think Marli needs to make you the host.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. And if anyone else joins, then I'm going to turn on the ding sound and won't hear.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Bear with me for just a second. I'll just start talking about it because regardless, you'll see the slide in a second. Let me know when you do see it, by the way. So how to improve immunity in children is hand washing and personal hygiene, diet, nutrition, outside play and exercise, meditation and mindfulness, and proper sleep habits. So these are some of the topics I'm going to go over tonight. Are you guys able to see the slide yet?
You're a host now, so why don't you go back and forth one more time?
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. Little technical difficulties today.
You guys see it?
Stop your share and then reshare.
Still the first one.
Not share. Share screen. Now? Okay.
Yes,
right,
but just make presentation mode maybe.
Lordy, somebody help me. So when I was in the notes, how do I go back to present mode?
Escape.
Not my forte, guys. Sorry about this.
Go ahead and click escape.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Yes? All right. Good, everybody? We seeing how to improve immunity in children?
Yes, yay.
All right, so I just went through that, so I'm just going to fast forward to the next one. So hand washing, I mean, we all know this. It's a no-brainer, right? Wash our hands and stay clean. So teaching your children to wash with soap and water for 20 seconds. You could do the happy birthday song twice to help them to let that time go by. You can show them how to cover their mouths when they cough. So we'll have an image coming up of what the vampire cough means to help teach them something kind of fun. Regular baths and showers, another no-brainer. Brushing and flossing your teeth, the gums and the mouth, keeping them clean is very important for the rest of the organs in the body. Wearing a mask when in public, and we'll go over that as well. And after school, if they're going out, then change their clothes after school because they can get the germs from the airborne diseases on their clothing. Cling on there. So some of the things that you don't know is that there are many toxic chemicals in things like Purell and a lot of the other hand sanitizers that are out there, and the FDA has a list of all the toxic ones, and there's quite a list. So because of that, it will lead to a weaker immune function because basically it's suppressing the immune system. When you have all those toxins going on, you have hormone disruptors, which we've talked a lot about toxic load before. This is putting toxins in. There's also alcohol poisoning because the alcohol can be very high, and if they're constantly pumping this stuff onto their hands, it goes right into the bloodstream, and your guys are little half the time, and so that's an important note. And there has been actually someone on our team, their niece had to leave school because she was passing out because she was literally had alcohol in her system at school. She was about 4 or 5 years old at the time. So it's a real thing. It can also cause antimicrobial resistance, which is also a big deal. So you want to keep your immune system as high as possible, which is why I wanted to cover the On Guard hand sanitizer, which a lot of you have already. The ethyl alcohol is 64%, and the FDA requires a 60% amount in your hand sanitizer, so that'll kill what is needed to be killed. So it will kill the 99.9% of germs and bacteria, and then it's also infused with moisturizing apple extract, which a lot of them are super drying, so that's nice. Also, doTERRA has the oil inside of it. It's a protective blend, so it's going to keep the good stuff and the good bacteria available to your hands and put a protective barrier around the hands as well. Of course, using soap and water when available is also great. And these I just have in my cart regularly. I think the limit is 2 right now, but I just keep it going whenever I get any order of my supplements. So you can use it also when you're sanitizing things like pens and gym equipment or whatever you're bringing into the home. So that's kind of nice to have on hand. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So this is how our kids look when they cough, right? Like, please don't cough all over me. And the right way would be teaching them this cute little vampire cough. So they're going to grab their cape and cover their face and cough or sneeze into their arm. So we just thought that would be a fun thing to show you the right and wrong ways. You could always take a screenshot and add that in and show your kids if you wanted to. I think, hi Eve, you were asking if they sell bigger bottles. Unfortunately, they do not. I think you're talking about the hand sanitizer. I hope they do, because it's definitely becoming a thing where I want people to have that option. So hopefully they will, because usually they listen to what we want. So next, I'm going to go over masks. So this was on our FDA site as well. These are the top masks. You can kind of do it how you want to. The top 3 ones were the best for protection. And a mask hack that we really like to use. It's just inside of the mask itself to improve air quality. You can put On Guard, eucalyptus, or breathe and kind of line it, because you're just doing an extra protective barrier. And something that we talked about sort of at the beginning of when this virus came out, and Correct-X is coming up soon on our slides, but you can take Correct-X, which has a whole bunch of different oils inside of it, and line the inside of the nose, as well as having that mask on, because this is an airborne bacteria. That's something that I have been doing regularly, which has been really nice. And we're going to talk a little bit about gut health now. So why is gut health so important? Well, we know that 70% of our immune system lives in our gut and our gastrointestinal tract. So it's super important that we keep it clean. Everybody's talking about our microbiome nowadays more than ever, and they're finding out even more information, whether it's linked to cancer and all kinds of brain function and disease issues. So your probiotics are super important, and the gut processes food and produces vitamins and enzymes and fatty acids and more. So having a healthy gut and keeping the good bacteria in there is super important. 99% of your body's microbiome is found in the digestive tract. So this is a very, very important thing for us to know. And I'm going to note right now also that if you're not keeping your immune system strong and your gut bacteria strong, that's going to play a big role in your immune system and your health and wellness overall. We can eat as clean as we want to, and that is still super important. Definitely food is medicine. However, we're just not getting the same kind of nutrition from our food that we used to because the soil is depleted. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Diet and nutrition for kids. The food aspect, like I said, is a great idea. Starting off your breakfast super strong is really important. I actually was just looking at some of the stuff that Dr. Hyman was sharing about, and another nutritionist, Kelly LeVeque. And one of the best things you could do in the morning is a smoothie, or something like oatmeal, depending on if you have kids have any allergies, because you're going to get everything packed right there in the morning. You can make one big smoothie and have it for the whole family, and we'll have a recipe coming up in one of the slides soon. But basically, you're setting them up for the day. You can get the greens in there, you can get the fruit in there, you can get the protein in there, you can get superfoods in. So it is such a great way to do that. And what you want to look for in a good breakfast is nutrient dense, which that would cover it. Blood sugar support, again, covering it. Satiating, so fiber, so you can add fiber to this, which again, we'll talk about in a minute. You want it to be energizing, right? So they're ready to go for the day, and hassle-free. So whatever seems easy to you but can encompass those things, super important. So you can see a lot of these foods over here to the left, you're just trying to set them up with healthy eating patterns they'll be using their whole life. So you really set the tone for that. Lots of colorful fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, yogurts, fatty fish, complex carbs, and like I said, smoothies are a great option even for a snack. So you can do them more than once during the day. So we have somebody that we have followed, which will be in the resources at the end for really cool snack and kid ideas. I'm going to show you guys the next slide because we thought this was really neat. And again, you can screenshot any of this. Teach your kids to eat colorful foods. So I really like how at the top here, here's a fruit, here's a protein, here's a fat, here's a veggie. So you're getting all of it. And when you combine certain foods, you're allowing the absorption to be better, and you're bringing in a super powerhouse combination here for the body to deliver the right nutrition, but so the performance is on point for them. So this is a really great way to add color and some good ideas. And then some good ideas, if they won't eat the veggies, serve this fruit so that you can see here's vitamin C in this as well as the other. So you're getting some good ideas. And again, we'll show that resource in just a little bit. So I was talking about smoothies. They help growth and are packed with nutrients. And unfortunately, one of the ones that are out there that are kind of on the shelf, well, first of all, they're on the shelf, so they're not going to be bioavailable to you, which is a problem because the body needs bioavailable nutrition. Really important. So things like Pediasure or some of the other ones that are out there, there's chemicals in them. There's really high sugar. They're not getting what they need out of this. There might be high protein, but that's about it. And the cost, as you can see, is higher than if you did it from home. And again, you're covering everyone's breakfast if you wanted to do it that way. Again, you can take a screenshot. This is just one of the go-tos that I really like. You could do half a banana, or it just helps it get whippier and creamier. If you don't like banana, just replace any of these fruits that you want to. And then you can do a nut butter. almond milk, some protein powder, which we'll go over the ones that we like in a minute, Terra greens or spinach, something like a green that's live, and then add your fiber. An example of that is flax or hemp, but there's plenty out there that you can also choose from. And then ice always makes it nice too. We have also put in essential oils to our smoothie, like peppermint or orange oil, like we've done a creamsicle one before. So there's lots of good ideas. And if you want more of those smoothie ideas, you can reach out to me and I'll help you out with that. This is one of my favorite protein powders. However, I have a few. Right now, it's actually out of stock until mid-month. Kelly LeVeque just came out with this. It has 20 grams of protein, which was really good. The sugars are low and the carb content is good and the taste really good. It's also got a really nice, it doesn't get gritty like some other ones. And she uses natural sweeteners. I'm a big fan of her smoothies and her smoothie ideas, which are called the Fab 4 smoothies, and I'll go over that in a minute. Another one I like is at Whole Foods. It's the Garden of Eden. And Dr. Hyman just put one out, but it's like $100. So I like the ingredients, but I don't know if I'm recommending it just because of the price point. So there are some great options. We also, through doTERRA, have one called Slim and Sassy. And that's another good one, but it doesn't have as much protein, but they're delicious. They've got a vanilla, a vegan one, which I've used a lot because it has great nutrition. You can always add your protein separately. And then did I say a chocolate one? A chocolate vanilla and a vegan one. This is what I like to use. So again, you can screenshot. When I was talking about the Fab 4 smoothies, you're trying to get all of this in one smoothie to make it well-rounded, to help the digestive enzymes, to get all the right things in so they're satiated, all the things I just talked about having in a breakfast, the nutrient dense, the blood sugar support, the satiating, the energizing, and hassle-free. So it's just a good image to use and have. All right, we are going to switch gears a little bit and talk about vitamins. So gummy vitamins are out there. A lot of people are talking about Smarty Pants, and I'm not saying they're bad, but what I am saying is gummies don't retain as much nutrition as a regular chewable vitamin or one that you swallow. There's a lot of cavity issues, and that's coming from my friend who's a dentist. So you're having that on top of it. So it kind of feels like you're wasting your money a little bit. Also, the FDA does not regulate vitamin and gummies, so they can add whatever they want to without regulations. You can see some of the other issues that are on here. So I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that, because gummies are like, let's get the Flintstones, let's get the gummies, but it's more for fun, and it's like treating it like candy versus really looking for the nutrition. So this is one of the things I love about recommending doTERRA, because the A to Z chewables are fantastic with the blends of your A, B, and C, your minerals, your calcium, your magnesium, your copper. It's just covering everything for cellular health, for developmental purposes, antioxidants for radical damage. You want to prevent the free radical damage in the body. So that's a big deal. And we had somebody on here earlier, Shirley. I don't know if she was able to get back on. I think I see her. Shirley had her granddaughter on, and she was going to tell us how much she liked them because she just had tried them. And you can put it in the chat field if you want to, Shirley, but she was like, I love them. They're so good. So it was a nice little testimonial right before we hopped on. This is the A to Z. This is the one you guys are going to get a sample of. It has a watermelon flavor, and you can look online at the nutrition content, but it's just much more bioavailable to the body. So if you left 2 of these out on the counter, like the dosage says, depending on the age of the child, they are going to start disintegrating quicker than you would see another type of vitamin because they're more live and available to the body. Okay, so over to the right, I'm going to cover the probiotic. This is the PB Assist. It looks like this. It's like in a little pixie stick, which is also something you'll get for being here tonight. This is the one that's going to work on our flora, and it's got a good watermelon taste. You can put it in smoothies too, so you can knock that out of the way in the morning, or they can just take it like a little pixie stick. or they can put it in water is another way. It's going to help boost your GI immunity and prevent disease and infections because of that barrier that's created. A lot of kids that have eczema and other things, it's a flora issue in the gut. It can be several things, but sometimes that's what it is. So that might be something you look into. Creates an unfavorable place for unhealthy bacteria, yeast, and harmful bacteria. So you're just creating a good environment in general, and help support absorption of the food. So I'm just checking the chat field. Everything's great. Please send your, okay, just making sure. So it doesn't have the kids vitamin. I think it has a little bit of a sweetener in it, organic cane sugar, but it's not a high amount, and it's just to make it taste palatable for children, just to answer that question. But it's not overwhelming. Okay, so going over, this is the PB Assist, which we just talked about. So I'm going to kind of skip over that unless anybody has any questions right now about the probiotics, since we're talking about so many subjects. You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat field if you do. Okay.
Annabelle, I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, this is coming from someone who doesn't have kids right now. But so with the doTERRA supplements, like the kids' vitamins, and then the PB Assist and the oil, at what age can kids start taking those vitamins?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that had been asked online, actually, and just FYI, Marli, there's 2 people trying to get on, Bernadette and I think Sarah, just FYI, if you can hear me, Marli. Someone had asked that earlier in the chat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, not in this chat, on Facebook, so it's a good question to bring up. So when they're younger and they start eating, like around the 1-ish age, you could take a half of the vitamin or a whole one depending on weight, and we could get some more information about that. And then you can start to increase it as they get older, around around the age of 4. Same thing with the packet, almost like, you know what, Lindsay specializes with animals. It's almost like the size of the person depends on how much you're going to use. But you would start out small, and you can certainly start it out because even Kelly Levesque, who talks about the supplements that she uses for her son, and he's, I think, 2 now, and the probiotics she's been doing for at least a year, because she said if the gut health isn't there and in check right away, and it's not been for a lot of kids because they're all having leaky gut issues and eczema and all the things because of the flora and the bacteria that used to be there in our foods and other things, she wants to start it early. So that's a great question. And does that answer it?
Yeah, no, that definitely does. Thank you.
So if you have a specific age or question, reach out to me and I'll help you with that. Okay. Yeah. And just checking the chat because I felt like I saw some more come on here. I'm going to should I make you the host? Okay. I'm going to switch it to the next slide, and then I'm going to make her the host. Let me know, Marli, by texting me when you're done with the host participants. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, I changed you over, Marli. All right, can you guys still see the A to Z slide? Yes, okay. All right, oops. All right, going back to A to Z. All right, so the vitamins are really good. I have done a lot of comparisons with kids' vitamins, and Terra can speak to this too, who's on the call. She uses this with her kids. It covers everything that they need. The A, B's, the C's, and as well as the D's, which D is a big deal. If they're not getting their vitamin D, that's going to be a big problem, and I'm sure you guys have heard about it before a lot from your doctor. Most people's vitamin D is low because we're wearing sunscreen or we're just not out in the sun enough. So that's important. It has a blend of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, zinc, and copper, and it supports healthy cells and longevity, kind of the stuff we had talked about earlier. Antioxidant protection as well. I'm the host again. Okay, so I don't need to do anything, right, Marli? Okay. So we are on the fish oils now, and fish oil is one of the most important. Everything's important, but this is really, really important, and it has been for me and my daughter especially because she has ADHD, and it is proven to help with ADHD. So it has a high DHA, supports healthy brain function, supports healthy eye function, supports joints and connective tissue, and it's clean sourced. And the source is very important, and I can give you guys a little bit more information about that. I'm just pulling up the notes here, but you guys can still see the slide, right? Can I get another thumbs up just to make sure you guys are looking at the slide? Okay, cool, thanks. So what it has in it is it has orange oil within the actual fish oil, and a lot of kids cannot deal with a fishy taste. So that's what's nice about this. A little hack with this is to make sure that you put it in your fridge, because when it's cold, it has a more appealing taste as well. My daughter doesn't have a problem with it, but if your child did, you could put it in a smoothie or a drink or food. And it's also easy to swallow because it is in an oil form. And I actually prefer it, and I drink some of it myself as well as a supplement that I take, because I feel like I just can't seem to get enough of my fish oils in the body. So this is going to promote vitality and wellness. It's going to restore the omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, which is an important step in body's health. It can be done by taking these within that spoonful in the morning. And sometimes it can be in canola oil and nuts and seeds, but we just can't get enough if we're eating that way. So that's where the supplement comes in. It has a total of 1,550 milligrams of pure microfiltered marine lipids, including 900 of DHA and 400 of EPA. Because of issues with toxins and heavy metals in the fish and the sourcing, you've really got to be careful where you get your fish oil from. So this is one of them that we definitely suggest to you. Just making sure. You guys able to see the outside play? Yes? Okay, good.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead, Shirley.
Where is the fish sourced from? Because that's what I was looking on this.
So actually, Marli was looking that up earlier for me. It is a good source, and it's the algae source, but I can get you the location if you like. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, and I just wanted to make the comment. Sorry, my daughter took this for the first time this morning, and she didn't like it.
The fish oil. So that's what I was saying. If you put it in the fridge or in the smoothie, you should be good to go. My daughter loves it, and I know Terra's kids take it too and don't seem to have a problem. But, you know, to each his own. We all have different palates. So anyway, I can help you with that, let me know. And
I have another question on how you give it. Like, I just put it on a regular teaspoon, but that's kind of hard. Do you have any kind of trick on? Because you don't want to pour it in those little measuring cups, because then you lose, you know, part of it stays in there.
Put it on a measuring spoon and pour it in the smoothie, if that's something that you think that she would do.
Okay.
Is that what your question was? Like a way to?
Or just if she's going to take it off the spoon, that's the best way to do it. It's just a regular teaspoon.
Yeah, I do it that way. Or the smoothie, but you could measure it on the teaspoon, put it in a cup. Then you'd be losing some of it on the side of the cup. So I think off the spoon is the best way. And Terra, if you want to put in the chat field any way that you do it, let us know. Just making sure I'm not missing anything on the chat. Yep, Terra, my mind takes it right off the spoon. Exactly. Puts it in the fridge. Yep, and Marli was saying she has a brother with OCD, and it's the most important supplement that they can manage. So yeah. So you guys all seeing the outside play slide? I'll just move on to that piece unless anyone has any questions.
No, Annabelle, we're not.
Okay.
We'll see IQ Mega.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. Let me go back to the screen. If I go to notes, Marli, it pulls me right out of the slide presentation. Gosh, guys, I'm sorry.
Exit again and then relaunch it. That's what we did last time.
Okay. Is that? All right, do you guys see it? I'm just not going to go to the notes because I don't want to mess that up. Do you guys see outside play? Okay, great. So outside play is super important, and we know right now we're indoors a lot more, and we know that if they're in school or if they are in home at school, that outside play, especially during the winter, can be a little tricky, right? And being realistic here, we just want you to know that exposure to vitamin D outside, even if you're thinking in the safe hours where they're at the before 10 o'clock and after 4 o'clock time frame, they're getting that vitamin D in a safe way. But even more important, outside play and exercise, the fresh air helps the immune system, increases overall happiness, sleep. I mean, the kids need to go out and physically move, right? And it increases the capability to learn. I was a kindergarten teacher for 10 years, and I remember one year they wanted to take away playtime, and I was like, no way. First of all, they learn through the social aspect, but they have to move. It's just impossible to treat them like in a chair all day long. They have to move. So another thing is it helps control weight, lowers blood pressure, reduces diabetes and some cancers, and strengthens bone mass, because the running and the pounding, just like we talk about in Pilates on the pavement or on whatever you're doing, it's going to increase your bone density, and bone loss is a big deal, especially as we age. So super important. It's so important for the brain. There is physical exercise releases proteins in the brain that can actually help improve memory and increase cognitive performance. It's a really big deal for students. So we just wanted to put this on here. I think you all know this, but just wanted to make sure it's a piece of the whole puzzle here for all of you guys. So this is something I had talked about earlier. So going along with the outdoor play, sometimes there's scratches and bumps and bruises and cuts. Correct X was the one I was saying, put it in the nasal passages. Use a little cotton swab and put it in there if they're going out, or if you're going out to the grocery store, and line that mask like we had talked about earlier. But what's nice about it, because Neosporin has been around, but it has petroleum in it, it has chemicals in it, it also has antibacterial properties, which we don't need to be inundated with all the time. So some of the ingredients, like it's up top, bisabolol is known, if I'm saying that right, bisabolol is known for its calming effects. So as soon as someone gets cut, especially children, they're anxious, right? So this is going to have that calming effect. And then it's similar natural oils from the skin, like jojoba for our hydration. And so you want to make sure that you're not drying out the cut for healing. It also has the bark that I can't say exactly right, so I'm not going to try to condition the skin. And the oils below, this is what does it for me. Frankincense, which is a healing oil. Helichrysum, which is known as nature's glue, like the glue that they put on you when you have a cut and they're trying to do some sort of bandaging at the hospital. So helichrysum is like the glue that brings the cut together and heals the skin. Tea tree oil, which is cleansing. Cedarwood and lavender, again, calming and purifying. So huge fan of this. I have multiple tubes of this. I even use it as chapstick sometimes. So it is a big deal. Love that one. Another thing, just like we talked about being indoors, is too much screen time. Well, of course, they're going to be using a lot of screen time right now. I mean, it is what it is, right? But just being aware that overdoing it when they don't need it and making sure they get that outdoor time from the computers, the cell phones, the tablets, it can spike things like anger, depression, and other things among teens. So it's something to think about. We didn't have social media growing up, so it's caused a whole lot of other issues in the mental health department that I wanted to make sure I talked about. And outdoor play can help with that, but so can meditation and mindfulness. So if you are stuck indoors, this is another option, even if it's for 10 to 30 minutes a day, whatever you can fit in, even if it's at the end of the day. You can do this through meditation. You can do it through prayer, whatever that quiet time is, even if it's just shutting down for a little while and closing the eyes. It helps them in a variety of ways, emotionally and with meltdowns and with anger and just rebalancing the body. I can tell you, if I don't get one in, and I try to get even a 10 or 20 minute one a day, it makes a huge difference. It literally is like unplugging in your phone. It's like plugging you in to recharge the batteries. So just making for a happier home and happier children, you can do it all together, which is really nice. You can make it super fun. I have 2 sites that I can offer, but there's so many mindfulness and meditation sites that you can use now. So this is my site, the alignpilatesvienna.com. There's free meditations. There's kids exercise classes on there. Some are free and some are paid. So you can see different options there. You can also see links of other places to go, like Deepak Chakra is another favorite of mine. And over to the right, I have a blog called Unplug and Hug, and there's sections for kids and different ages, so not just one age. So you can kind of say, oh, these are good guidelines for my child at their age or teenagers, and here's some good resources. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw that. I'm just gonna pop and make sure there are no questions in the chat field at this point. Nope, looks like we're okay. Unmute yourself if I'm missing anything from my end. All right, we're gonna go into, we just have a few more slides left. We're gonna go into the different ages for sleep. This is kind of nice to take a screenshot of. How old is my child? How many hours do they need? Sleep is even more important than the meditation, because if you're not getting enough sleep in the first place, you can't truly recharge the batteries. And when we're resting, we're in repair mode. So much happens in our sleep. Having a nice schedule when we get back into the fall is going to be very important, because they can set their sleep to the same time every night and fall asleep easily, and then get that amount that they need and wake up alert and ready to go. That's a huge piece of creating a nighttime routine, and sticking to it just really helps with that overall wellness. Making sure that they have the recommended amount of sleep. Like I said, we love personally to diffuse lavender, serenity, putting vetiver on the bottom of the feet. There are so many calming oils. These are just a few favorites. There's one called Calmer, and it's a roll-on for kids that we really like. So there's so many different oils that we can help you with in that department, but that really sets the scene and the mood. Another thing I like to do is rub my daughter's feet, and I think Terra does this as well, because there's so many pressure points on the feet. It really helps to loosen up the whole body. That way you're getting a lot of the organ systems from the base of the feet. Magnesium is another powerful tool. It's another way that we are depleted in our body. Just like vitamin D, magnesium has been a problem, and that can lead to a lot of different issues, from headaches and depression and other things that we don't even realize. So magnesium helps support healthy sleep as well as gut health and joint support. So we have a magnesium that I'll be showing you in a minute, but just going over that again, here are some tips: quieting the room, settling them down, making sure they get the right foods, and eliminating sugar and caffeine towards the end of the day. Another sleep support, if you want to take a little screenshot, this is another couple of the blends if they're feeling anxious, restless, hyper, overtired, or they're having bad dreams. It's nice to have some things on hand. Juniper berry is one of my favorites for urinary support, just FYI. And balance and serenity are what we put on my daughter every night. So magnesium, here are some of the food sources. Again, you can take a screenshot. We also can take the bone nutrient and put a little bit of that, because normally for an adult you get 4 capsules of the bone nutrient. So I take a half a capsule of the bone nutrient and put it in my daughter's smoothie. But you can also use Epsom salts with minerals in them, like magnesium. And this is another one that Marli really likes, Natural Calm for Kids. So there's so many options. I haven't used that one myself, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. I do like the Epsom salt. My daughter really likes to take baths, so that's in our lineup. Plus, if you can throw any of these foods in, like edamame, black beans, quinoa, that's another great way to get your magnesium. Okay, so we were talking about creating a routine. Here's just a nice snapshot of something you could use and do. And rather than me reading this out to you, I'm just going to give you an example of what I do for my daughter. So in the morning, she's waking up. I get her breakfast, similar to either a smoothie or something that you saw on the slide before. She's got her fish oil. She's got her vitamins. She's got her probiotic. I'm putting the On Guard on her. If she's leaving the house, I'm probably adding some of the other ones we talked about with the mask. She's getting frankincense as well. She's getting one of the citruses in her water, whether it's lemon or orange oil. It's kind of whatever she's in the mood for. Of course, the hygiene part comes in, the getting ready for school, or whatever learning time that looks like. Right now in the summer, obviously, we're not doing that. We are doing our tutoring and reading, so it's a little bit looser, but I'm talking about more the school year. Creating a healthy lunch, which are you working? Are you staying at home with them? Do you need to make it ahead of time? So think about how that works for you. Getting that outside play time, getting that healthy snack in, and maybe recharging with peppermint or Intune. And actually, some of the thinker oils, like thinker and Intune that we roll across the forehead for concentration, would be another one I would be adding in for the school year, and they're on sale right now, just FYI. Then you talk about your nighttime routine for the calming, like we had talked about before. So this is something that happens when they get sick, right? You know something's coming on. You're going to want to increase their vitamin D, their vitamin C, which I forgot to put D on the slide. You want to get oregano touch because that's going to kill viruses. Rub it on the bottom of the feet or the back of the neck because it's diluted. Put a citrus in the water. Diffuse your On Guard and breathe. And if they can swallow pills, then you want to use the On Guard Plus, which I have up here, because the On Guard Plus has all the things that On Guard has, but oregano and melissa are added into that, which are powerhouses for any kind of bugs coming on. So it's just nice to have a go-to. Another thing I want to let you know about is if you're local, I can meet up with you, give you your iTevo scanner, see what your body wants and your children's bodies want before the school year even starts to kind of set you up for wellness and health goals. So that's something that you can have as members. And if you're not a member yet, we can talk about that regardless. I love the iTevo scanner. It taps into the body's bioenergies and gives us a feedback report on what's going on and plugs in the things that could help you. And again, if you're not a member, these are some of the other things that you could use as natural solutions. Some of the kits. We have an upcoming class next Thursday, just mentioning this right now, because if you attend this class and that class, we're doing a vitamin giveaway for adults. And I know tonight you had heard that we're doing a giveaway for somebody on here for a full bottle, even though you're still getting the supplements sampled regardless. So we'll go over who that winner is. Marli's pulling it out for us in just a moment. So these are just some of the natural solutions that can help you. And I want to give you guys some time for Q&A and open up the floor. Feel free to either in the chat field or unmute yourself. Oh, Terra said, how do you use frankincense for Maggie? I put a roller bottle on the back of the neck because it's kind of strong to put under the tongue, which is what I do for myself. Oh, there, Marli gave the source for you in there too, Shirley, in case you wanted to see it in the chat field. Thank you, Marli. So let's see if she had told me who it is. Does anyone have any other questions? No? If you have specific ones and you want to reach out to me, we are a resource for you. I want you to know that anything you need regarding health and wellness, that is what we do. That's a part of the whole deal with us being here, and we're happy to help you with that. And it looks like Marli has picked Rhonda. So Rhonda, congratulations. I'll make sure I get the vitamins to you. You can let me know what you think. I think you have 3 kids. Is that right, Rhonda? You don't have to answer if you're muted. So if no one else has any questions, Rhonda, are you there? Someone just unmuted.
Yeah, sorry. Couldn't unmute myself. Thank you. I have 2 kids.
2 kids. Okay, good enough.
And my husband is sometimes the 3rd kid. So
there you go. Well, I count that too, so I'm with you. So thank you guys for watching. Reach out for us for help. And please come to the 8:30 class next Thursday. Marli, did you have something else to say?